What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Coffee with Dudes. We have our coffee yet again, and we got another great podcast for you today. Something that has been on my mind a lot recently has been how can I eliminate as much worry in my life as possible? I think I'm kind of a little bit more of a worry wart when my mind can get stuck on something, and then I can continue to think about it and just ruminate on it and like worry about it. And a lot of times what I found is like these things are not worth our time, our energy, and it just like causes us more problems than it does good. We wanted to talk about today, like some things that we can do, some things that we do, or that like personally what I'm trying to do and what's top of mind for me to help eliminate as much worrying in my life as possible. So first off, what comes to your mind? Like, what are some things that you try to do to help eliminate as much worrying as possible for you?
Man, I'm still a work in progress with this, like I worry, I worry a lot, man. So I worry, I stress, I like feel the anxiety. I feel like the weight of the world on my shoulders sometimes. And I guess what helps me is like understanding that at the end of the day, this is easier said than done, but at the end of the day, none of it ever really matters. There'll be emails, work stuff that I'm stressed or worried about, life, not being enough, like all these things go through my mind, and they're things that I think about constantly. And like you said, I won't just like think about them, though. I won't be able to get them out of my mind. And so it's just like constantly, like I could be in a situation where I'm like, man, I couldn't wait to get on this vacation, or I couldn't wait to like, be doing this thing this weekend. And, I was worked all week, and now I'm here, but then I'm thinking about the things that I shouldn't, and I'm worrying on that, which takes me out of that moment. And I'm like the worst at that. Like, so, for me, the things that help me, I think when I remind, for me, I pray, like that's the biggest thing for me. But I think in addition to that too, is just being able to take myself out of that scenario. We get so focused and put our blinders on, and just like we think these things matter, right? Like we think that I got to respond to that email, or I gotta achieve XYZ so that I can feel more fulfilled, or I can be a better provider, or like things like that. And those things all may be true, but for me, I think being able to realize that I'm going through those thoughts, and just telling yourself like, dude, it's normal to think like this, but you can also detach from it. And when I can like do that and go, at the end of the day, none of this stuff ever matters. What really helps me, I don't know if you've ever done this, but like I'll think of something that I was worried about a couple months ago, maybe it was years ago, anything in the past, and then go, did it impact or change my life, or was I able to change anything by stressing or worrying about that? And it's such a good reminder, because you're like, dude, I'm standing here on my 2 feet now. I'm living. I made it through whatever I was stressed or worried about. Proof that it didn't matter, right, in the first place. And also proof that I didn't change anything by worrying about it. Like
Yeah.
nothing that, the outcome was the outcome, regardless if it was good or bad. And so that's like a little technique that I use is, technique or
Good.
strategy is, think about the things that you were worried about in the past, and you're here right now. Thankfully, gratefully, we're here right now. What's
Yeah.
something that you do, dude? Or do you go through those same thoughts or similar, or like what
Well,
do you think?
definitely go through some similar stuff, but that's a good point. You're almost like fast forwarding because a lot of times we worry about something and we think it's the end of the world, and then the next day it's not even on our mind again. We like
Yes.
forget about it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
it's a good. I've heard of people, and I don't know if I've had like a lot of success doing this, but of like fast forwarding the time horizon on it, and
Hmm.
like thinking, like putting yourself in your shoes a week from now, and like, are you
Hmm.
still going to be thinking about this thing? And a lot of
Yeah.
times it's going to be no, or even like a day or two from now, it's like this is going to be out of my mind,
Yeah.
and
That's
then
such
it's
a
not
good
worth
point.
stressing about. But also, like what you mentioned, that this is top of mind for me in my like quest of eliminating worry is like understanding and reminding myself that none of this shit fucking matters. Like it's
Yeah,
just
dude.
like we
Yeah.
think that our job, it's like we're almost made to believe that our job and our tasks are like the end of the fucking world.
Right.
Like
Right.
nobody, unless if you're in like healthcare or certain fields,
Yeah.
nobody's fucking dying. Like
dude. Yeah.
if this property doesn't get their fucking paint done tomorrow, like nobody is gonna die. Like
Yeah.
it's not,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
And that has helped me. Also, I think where I struggle sometimes is like thinking about other people's thoughts,
Mm,
where it's like, oh,
yeah.
other people's opinions, thoughts, and that's a huge thing in society today.
Yeah.
And that doesn't matter too. Like nobody else is thinking about you, nobody else's opinion
Yeah.
matters. Like there's a select few people that I believe you should like really value their opinion. Like it's
Yeah.
like a small circle. Anybody outside of that who thinks a certain way or thinks of you a certain way, like they're not really like they're like everybody's so consumed in their own thoughts. So like worrying about those things is a waste of energy. But that's kind of like what I was thinking. And a huge thing as well that I've been doing that's helped me a lot is especially in like a sales role, you could technically be doing stuff like a lot. Like you could do stuff outside of work hours pretty easily. And people are going to respond to you at weird times and like outside of the normal working hours. One thing my job is really good at, like my boss is like, hey, I want you guys to like have the balance. Like, don't look at your phone outside of like, like respond to people tomorrow. Like you can do whatever you want, but like you start to train people that you're available at these hours if you
Mhm.
respond at those hours. And then that's like your own problem at that
Yep.
point. And so
Yep.
like I have the last like since I got back from France, especially, have like committed to like a 5:30 is the last time I'm going to look at my phone for the night, and then
Mhm.
I'm covering it up with a blanket, and I'm not looking at it till the next morning. And
Yeah.
I'm doing that over the weekends too, where it's like as long as I don't have anything like that's being done on Saturday, like
Mhm.
I'm covering my phone up on Friday at whatever time I'm done, and I'm not looking at that thing until Monday, and I'm just the everything that happens throughout the weekend is like I'm not thinking like I don't like because I'm if I start looking at my phone and I see a text from so and so or an email from so and so, now I'm going to start to worry if I don't
Mhm.
respond. But then if I respond, now I'm into the can of worms of like back and forth, and so like that has eliminated a lot of that for me is just by like being like, you know what, I'm done at this time, and whatever happens in those hours is going to be okay. Nobody's dying. Like it's going to be fine. And
Mhm.
that has eliminated a lot of it for
That's such a good point. You could even take that into like a more granular level too, and go on a daily basis of like the times that you are working, like a Monday through Friday.
me. Yeah.
And like, one of my colleagues helped me out with this too. He's like, dude, just set aside an hour to start your shift and an hour to end your shift. And that's when you respond to emails. And I was like,
Yeah.
dang, like, yeah, I just blocked it out because it's like, if you respond to that email that comes through randomly midday that can totally wait, you've just now opened up, like you said, a can of worms to go back and forth with somebody, however many times versus
Yeah.
like, they'll almost like answer questions themselves if they know that they're going to get like a very one straightforward response from you at a random time throughout the day, not just like, hey, ask a question, give them an immediate response. So yeah, I have to like train people to do that as well. And to your point, if I see that message come through, it's worse, right? Like if it's the weekend and I see it come through and I'm like, well, technically I could respond to that, which would probably put them at ease or which would probably save me some work later, but not always, because here comes another response from them too, right? Like, or here comes another question from them. Now you're just down this rabbit hole. And before you know it, you can't enjoy the thing that whatever you're involved in on, it's outside of the workday. So yeah, that has helped me a lot too. I haven't tried the thinking into the future thing and then looking back and going, will I still, as you said it, I did it and I was like, oh, it works. Because there was something last weekend that I was stressed or worried about. And I was like, you said that. And I was like, okay, I'm here now. Is what I was worried about last week even? I was like, no. But
Yeah.
if you asked me last week, it was the thing that was at my top of mind. And I was like, dude, I got to get this done. I hope my team responds to me. Like, you know, I was
Mhm.
just in it, and then now I look back, I'm like, dude, yeah, it's
And
crazy.
like you can't take on other people's thoughts of like priority too, right?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
as everybody's email is the highest priority email that
right,
needs to be taken into
yeah,
consideration now. It's like it's just you can't do that. And so like
yeah,
that's kind of the big thing. It's like I feel like it's like most things don't matter, right? It's like
yeah,
most things aren't really worth the time and energy that we put into it, whether that's like mentally, like thinking about it. And I like that too. I should use that a little bit more of, it's like, okay, I'm really finding myself worrying about this a lot. It's like fast forward a week and most things are not going to still be on your mind,
Yeah.
right? Is especially work related things, like
Yeah.
definitely not going to be on your mind. Maybe some personal things is
Mhm.
like, you gotta, that they'll be a little bit harder to drop, but like I feel like most of our shit is like work related. It's
Yeah.
like we as Americans just like, it's like we stress so much about our jobs and all this shit when it really doesn't matter. And we also like stress a lot about things that are outside of our control. Like I know I struggle with that a lot, where it's like I find myself thinking about things and it's like, God, like I don't have any control about that. And like, so it's like, why am I letting this take over my mind? And so I think that's another huge thing of asking yourself, you can ask yourself, like, putting myself in my shoes a week, 2 weeks, a month from now, is this still going to be on the top of my mind? If not, like, just try to drop it. But also, like, asking yourself, like, is this even in my control? A lot of the things are going to be outside of your control. And at that point, it's like, well, whatever happens is going to happen. Like, I don't have any control over that
Hmm.
side of things. It's like I mentioned to you that we had a flight back home from France recently, and we flew from France to London, and then we had our connecting flight from London to Phoenix. And because of a 2 hour delay in France, we missed our connecting flight, and then they put us up in the next day, and so we had to stay. Luckily, they took care of our food and lodging for that day, but while we were going about it, like we were stressing, like we're like, fuck, like we're like looking at the clock and we're like, God, we're gonna miss this flight. Like, how are we possibly gonna get there in time? When like all of that was outside of our control. And
Yeah.
so it's like kind of taking, it's like, like it sucks, right? Like acknowledge it sucks, but like we're gonna do whatever we can to make this flight. If we don't, like that's like we couldn't do anything else. Like so it's that's kind of an example that comes to my mind from recently, that we were super stressed and anxious about that, and really like it's a waste of energy because it's not anything that we can control.
Hmm. Yeah. Do you worry about stuff too that'll be like we talked about fast forwarding into the future, but what if that worry is in the future? Like what if you're anticipating something that's coming
Mm,
up or like, you know,
yeah,
um,
that's a good point. Yeah, I feel like that is what a lot of that is, right? It's like worries are a lot of times thinking about the worst case scenario of
yeah,
things happening, right?
yeah, yeah. Like how
Where
this could spiral so far and you're
yeah,
we'll go down a rabbit hole, dude, trying to figure out like worst cases.
of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think that maybe falls into to line of like outside of your control, right? It's like it's almost like redirecting yourself to what can you do, like because there's something like 2 weeks, a month down the road that you're worried about, like, well, what can you do to give the best chance of that going the way you want it to go?
Yep.
It's like just do your best and then know that whatever happens is going to happen, and you really don't have control over the rest of that side
Yeah.
of things. That's
It
kind of what I
said,
think.
yeah, I just read something right now. It said, "Don't borrow tomorrow's problems. Handle today's challenges first." So that's
Yeah,
always something to, just stay present. We've talked about that before. Just stay into today.
yeah,
If all goes well, like who knows? We've talked about it before. We may not make it to tomorrow. So if, if we're just like, hey, let's focus on today and get clarity on today. You know what else helps me too? And I don't know if you do this, but dude, I go out for a walk. If I can
yeah,
get outside and go walk and move my body, it helps kind of declutter my mind, and it can do wonders of just moving our body. That's something that,
yeah.
that's one of my go-tos. That's kind of like a default. Now the challenge becomes sometimes like, can you not think about the thing while you're on the walk, right? But even just going on a walk outside is way more invigorating, and come back feeling refreshed oftentimes. And
Mhm.
sometimes it gives you clarity when you go on a walk too, and you're just like, yeah, dude, that's not a big deal. Or yeah, I just solved that problem on the walk, and like, whatever. But walks help me big time.
Yeah, that's a good one. as well. Yeah, getting in nature, moving
Hmm.
the body a little bit, never gonna hurt with any of that.
Right.
Other than that, I don't think I got anything else. We appreciate you guys listening to this one. Hopefully, it helped you in some respect. Again, like if you're not subscribed, make sure you click that subscribe button. And if this is one that you got some help from, well, we ask share it with somebody else. Let pass this along. Maybe this can help somebody with who's a worry wart, just like myself. And it sounds like you are a little bit as
Me
well.
too. Yeah. Oh yeah.
As always, we appreciate you guys. Hope you have a great rest of the day, and we will be talking to you soon.